High Potential, a show that is living up to its title. It is ABC's most watched new series in 6 years and whose season 1 finale became the network's most streamed drama episode ever. Please welcome creator Drew Goddard, showrunner Todd Hartman, and star Kaitlin Olson. Welcome and congratulations on the success of your show here, Kaitlin.
Thanks. And the last people screamed, and I feel like we should.
And
hi guys! Oh my God! They're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. There we go.
And Drew, let's start with you. The show is based on a French and Belgian series. Your background is in sci-fi genre, Lost, Buffy, Daredevil, The Martian. What tempted you to try network procedural, and why this format?
I mean, for better or worse, I've never really had much of a plan with my career. I just sort of trust that if I love something, to follow it, and that's led me to break genres, but that's never been the plan. I saw the French show and thought it was really special. I thought it spoke to something that felt very current. We all know the modern procedural and the genre, but I had never seen a single mom at the core before, and I thought that was just inspired and thought it was something that, may connect right now.
Okay. And let's get a refresher with a quick look back at the pilot episode of High Potential, written by Drew, in which Caitlin's character, Morgan, is an ordinary, as mentioned, ordinary single mom with an extraordinary mind. She helps crack the first of many tough cases for the LAPD.
That's not from yesterday. Look at the trees. The wind is blowing from south to north. Wind in the LA basin blows from the south in the summer, specifically mid-July to September. Then in late fall, winds shift in from the north, peaking in January. So that's got to be from several months ago.
How do you know which way the wind is blowing?
Have you even looked at your footage? You got a church. Churches face east. Okay, around the 8th century, priests started orienting their churches facing east. They said it was based off the designs for the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. But it's also possible that they wanted the sunrise behind them to make themselves appear more godlike and impressive. But that's not something we need to get into right now.
All churches face east? And can't the wind change direction?
Catholic churches built here in the 1800s do, so yes. And the wind was definitely blowing from the north yesterday.
She's right on both counts.
Someone doctored the video.
See ya. Good Lord.
Wait! How do you do that?
Like I told you, I don't sleep much. Watch a lot of documentaries.
That doesn't remotely explain this.
I also have an IQ of 160, so that might have something to do with it. But you can learn a lot from a good documentary. You'd be surprised. It's a high IQ. We get it. Can I go now?
I know a lot of really smart people. They're not you.
The technical term is high potential intellectual. Means you have advanced cognitive abilities. Intellectual creativity, photographic memory, stuff like that. But I don't know. I've just always been this way.
So it's some sort of a gift?
No, not a gift. I obsess over every little problem I see. My mind is constantly spinning out of control, which makes it impossible to hold a job, a relationship, a conversation. Not a gift.
As you can see from the clip, casting was crucial to making this work. Drew, did you write the script with anyone in mind, and what was the casting look like?
I mean, I tend to not write scripts with people in mind so I can be in touch with the character, but as soon as the script was done, the first person we thought of was Kaitlin, and had she not said yes, we wouldn't do it.
Now the question, Kaitlin, is...
That's not true. I don't buy that.
No, we definitely wouldn't have done it.
He's still trying to get me to like him.
Kaitlin, you already had a full plate by that time when you approached, obviously with your starring role in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and your Emmy-nominated recurring role on Hacks. But what made you say yes to what is your first drama series role?
I think similarly to Drew, I just fell in love with this character. I thought she was really special. I loved the idea of playing something different. This woman is a very good mom and a really good person deep down, and my other characters, not so much. And I just wanted to do something different, and I just fell in love with Drew's script. I mean, I wasn't looking to do an hour-long network television show. And neither was Drew. So that's how we bonded. But I love it, and I'm glad we did.
Cool. And Todd, who gets extra points for method dressing. Those are special high potential shoes, by the way.
Yes, they are. These are limited edition season 1 high potentials, inspired by, of course, Morgan's character.
Todd, you kept a lot of elements from the original, a lot of the cases, obviously the flashy wardrobe we see of the character, but talk about the changes you made with grounding the character and finding that balance between crime procedural, family drama, and a comedy. I got it right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of ingredients in this one, and I think the toughest part was making sure that was balanced episode to episode, because obviously we have Kaitlin Olson, and the first instinct is, well, let's just be as funny as we possibly can, but we're also dealing with murder, so you have to walk a fine line.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it's super funny when you find somebody who's lost their life at the beginning of an episode. But seriously, we had to sort of, and I thought the pilot did this really well, so drafting off of that, being respectful and mindful of the emotional core of the case and the family that lost a loved one or somebody that's being wrongfully accused of a crime, and with finding moments of levity and humor that would land without being disrespectful. The family stuff is just a gift. I mean, the cast, Matthew and Amir are incredible. Caitlin's amazing with them, so we're sort of cheating in that respect, because that element just naturally adds such a heart and soul to the episode. So it's something to pay close attention to, and episode to episode, hopefully we keep doing it in season 2.
And since that was mentioned, Kaitlin, your character is a working mom, and you are a working mom too. Was there anything from your personal experience you brought to the character?
Yeah, definitely. I think just the fact that I'm a mom and I love my kids and I'm gone a lot and I want to make the most of the time when I'm with them, you can't help but bring some of that in, just loving your kids more than anything else and making sure, just wanting them to be okay, respecting the fact that they're two very different people and they need to be parented differently. I deal with that in my house too. So yeah, there's a lot that just naturally sort of comes.
Any little quirk in the character? Anything that just you brought yourself? Anything that was not in the script?
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, you go.
Blue fingernails.
Yeah, blue fingernails, yeah. Well, the eyeliner being different, the nails being different every week. But that's like, material stuff. You mean like acting-wise that I'd bring?
Anything.
Listen, I think we're making a very specific tone, and I think it's so hard to explain what that tone is with words. So it's important to me to sort of get in there and feel it out. I don't think the other characters should be funny unless they just do something that's funny, but people aren't playing it funny. But I think Morgan comes in and she's just her own person, doesn't really care what other people think about her, and so there's just some natural comedy that comes into her interactions with people. So I think I'm bringing a bunch of that stuff.
One of the things I respond to so strongly with Caitlin's performances is that no matter how broad or how heartbreaking, it always feels grounded in her own humanity. And I think that's the thing that drives the show. So no matter what the frequency of the scene, it's always human. And I think that's the other thing that Todd and I talk about all the time about the show. These procedurals tend to be very cynical and dark. And what we, all three of us, strive to do is start from a humanist point of view and an empathetic point of view. And that's the other thing that I think makes our show unique.
And what about how realistic is the portrayal of Morgan's gift on the show? Kaitlin, did you get to meet somebody with that condition? And do you guys have research consultants on the show?
I think there are people walking around this world much more than you know who have very, very high IQs and are neurodivergent in some way and don't particularly find it a gift. Yeah, I know there are many people like that in my life who are just really, really smart, and there's a lot that comes along with that can be troubling. So, yeah, did I seek one person out? No, but I know a lot of people like that.
Okay.
Yeah, we do lean on, amazing writing staff, but also researchers that help us dive into her gift that it sometimes does feel like a curse. I think the thing that people will see more of as we move forward into deeper seasons is, she says it in that clip, right? It's a very complicated brain in her head that it's messy. And I think she's imperfect, and I think we're going to write to some of those imperfections. So it does take a lot of time and research to sort of figure out the kinds of stories that are going to really bring that to each episode. So yeah, we have a lot of help, a lot of brains in the room that if you put them all together, kind of high IQ, right? It probably reaches close to 160.
Yeah, maybe.
Me plus Mark Halsey and some of the other writers.
Add a few more.
Fine.
Cumulative IQ, got it. And like Morgan, actually, Kaitlin, you get to go your real home to your real kids afterwards because your show is one of very few shows these days that shoots in LA. Would like to give props to that. Something we desperately need right now. Talk about making the LA for LA and making also the city a character on the show.
It's not lost on us. I remember I had to evacuate, and the day I got back in my house, I called Todd and I said, I'm so grateful right now that we get to be putting people back to work, because we got the season 2 pickup the same day that we got to go back, if we're from Encino. So when Encino got to go back, we got the pickup the same day, and I thought to myself, this is such a gift and a privilege to get to put people back to work, and we take it very seriously, and we want to show the studios that it's cost effective, but that we can do beautiful work. And so every single day we are fighting to get jobs in Los Angeles.
Thank you. Thank you. And you shot the show, most of it, before the premiere because the show was delayed by the strike. And talk about the confidence to end it with this massive cliffhanger. And was there a moment during shooting we had an inkling that this could be a hit?
Oh, yeah. I thought before we started shooting it that it was going to be a hit, but that's just what I do.
No?
Yeah, I came in a little bit later. I had nothing to do with the pilot. I got invited, thankfully, after they had established, some of the bigger elements of the show. So, I'll never forget this moment. I was sitting on set. We were shooting the first episode that I was a part of, and it was a scene where Kaitlin was coming in and really unloading on the cops because they were moving a mother from basically one side of the crime board to the suspect side, and she lost it, and she hadn't slept in a couple days. I remember sitting in Video Village with a bunch of executives, right, from Studio Network who were nervous. What is this going to be a hit? And I remember watching what she did over and over and over again, and that's the moment where I realized there's nothing we can't throw her, nothing she can't do. And I was like, we have something here for sure. And that's the first moment where I went, I think we're going to be doing this for a while.
And
I like when people doubt me. It puts a chip on my shoulder.
And
I knew they were back there.
You're starting back very soon, in a couple of weeks. It was mentioned that the series has been renewed for a second season. Please tell us it's going to be more than 13 episodes next season, yes?
A little bit more.
What can you tell us about the ongoing mystery, new mystery, cases? Also, how slow burn will the Morgan and Karadec romance be exactly? Asking for a friend.
Asking for all women. My social media is just blowing up with Morgadec questions.
Yeah, I've been known for a slow burn. I just heard gasps. Did you hear that?
I think I heard a Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Yeah, I mean, look, we're mapping out the season now. I mean, we just started with the staff about a month ago, and the Morgan Karadec of it all and the Roman of it all are two massive serialized threads that run through this show. So I guarantee you this: there will be lots of satisfying answers, progression on both of those fronts this season, for sure. Now they're laughing.
They're so mad at you.
Excellent. We're unfortunately out of time, but I wanted to say thank you to my panelists, Kaitlin, Drew, and Todd. Great show. Coming back for a second
Thank you,
season.
guys.
High potential. Thank you.